How gorgeous does this look? Please hit the like button just for how gorgeous it looks and subscribe. Enjoy the video. Of course, we had to start with freshly made bread, then we get to the rest of the video of our lovely BunnyChow. So I'm just gonna start with boiling some potatoes. These potatoes took a bit longer to boil, so I decided to just put them first in the gas stove, and then I can get started on the meat while the potatoes are boiling. We're gonna add them back into the pot later on, but we need to just get them started because they took forever. Anyway, now we're gonna go into our beef curry for the BunnyChow. This was awesome. It was so good and yeah, amazing. So please enjoy the video. A BunnyChow was created by Indians in Durban. That's where it's originally from. Outside of South Africa, the other Indians outside of South Africa don't know about the BunnyChow. Maybe they know now, but it's not something that they cook. So I had to look this information up so I can give you some proper information when it comes to the BunnyChow. All right. So now we're just gonna fry our meat until it's a bit golden before we add the rest of the ingredients. I use 1 kilo of the meat, and I use this packet masala because, as I mentioned before, it's easier if you get this packet of masala. Then it's got directions at the back on how to use it and what you need for it. So for whenever a recipe said 4 garlic cloves or anything like that, if I'm not using that much meat, then I'm going to cut it. So this is 2 cloves of garlic, and then we put the first 3 spices in the packet, and then we add our onions. This was 1 giant onion, so if you've got very small onions, maybe you can use 2. That is also fine, or you can use 1 if you are not an onion person, but at the end of it you won't even taste it because all the spices and everything would just cover it. So an interesting fact is that we went to Durban a few years ago and we ordered a BunnyChow, and this auntie, she gave us a stew. It was a stew. There was no spice, and I think she thought that we didn't know what we're doing, or maybe we were tourists or something, but it was just a beef stew with bread. And then we went to another holiday place that we're gonna stay in Port Shepstone, and there was this auntie that was doing the things. She knew what she was doing, and the rest of the holiday we were eating by her little, it's like a food truck, yeah, and it was really good. Now we just add some ginger and some garlic because it's a curry. Hello, how can you have a curry and not have garlic or ginger? It's unheard of. So anyway, just put it in and keep on frying it around. I'm just trying to move the meat from the base so that nothing gets stuck at the bottom. It was looking good, and as you can imagine, the aroma in the kitchen was amazing. And you can then add the 4th step to this. The last one is coriander, so you put it right at the end just before you dish up. And then some curry leaves. My mom brought me these curry leaves last year from the tree. They're fresh, so I just kept them in the fridge so that it can last me a long time. Because curry leaves are nice that you can use them fresh and you can use them when they're dry. When they're fresh, oh, that fragrance that comes from them is out of this planet. And I'm just adding some tomato paste for the color, the richness of the curry. It really helps. But if you don't have the tomato paste, you don't have to put it. You can just put the fresh tomatoes. That's also fine, 100%. And now we just cook that through, and then add our fresh tomatoes. And as I mentioned, if I'm making with tomatoes, I add sugar. Actually, I think I like to add sugar all the time because most of my dishes have sugar. But when you eat them, it doesn't taste like it's just sugar. It's just to add a variation to the taste of the whole dish. That's why I do it. So if you try any of my recipes, you'll see that, okay, so that didn't taste like it had a lot of sugar. So cool. Then you can try it. There's our potatoes. There was still like a cup of water left in the pot. Then I just added it in there as well. Now I'm adding 4 more cups. That makes them 5 cups, so that when they reduce, I'll still have a nice gravy. Because if you keep adding water, once it's cooking, it's almost like washing the meat. So if you put all your water now and then you cover it for 2 hours, mine went for 2 hours because it was on low heat, but and the meat was a bit too tough. So maybe if your meat cooks, you just check it after the first hour and see. That's what I did. After the first hour, I came back and I turned it, I stirred it, and then I took a small piece and it wasn't ready. So I added a bit more sugar because the one that I put at first, it didn't do anything. It didn't. And also because I put so much water, I just needed to add more flavor. So yeah. And then add more salt a bit later and things like that. You adjust as you go. You know, that's the nice thing about cooking, is that you can adjust your flavors as you go. You can keep on seasoning. But if you are baking, that's it. Whatever you put in the oven, that's it. You know, you don't get second chances. Now we just cover and put it on low heat for 2 hours. I didn't want it to burn, that's why. So now this is after the first hour. I'm just coming to check to see how it's doing, because sometimes when the meat is nice and soft, after an hour your curry is ready. But not this time. It didn't happen like that. So I just turned it a little bit, and yeah. I'd forgotten here to taste it on camera, but I did, and it wasn't ready. There's our dania. After 2 hours of sitting, you can see the richness. Look at that. It is so rich and bold, the color, and yeah, as you can imagine, the flavor was even, yeah, amazing. Now just putting the dania, the coriander powder, before we add the fresh coriander. Look at that. Gorgeous, rich beef curry for our BunnyChow. Please try the BunnyChow. It is so easy. You don't have to make your own bread, even though there's a recipe on my channel that I'm going to link in the description. There's some fresh dania or coriander leaves, and yeah, that's it. You can also just buy a loaf of bread and do this if you don't want all this fuss. This salad here, the carrot salad that goes with the BunnyChow, my husband never liked it. Every time I would order, he's like, what is this? This is not a salad. But I love it. I've always loved it because it's so refreshing. So I decided to add some cucumber, and cucumber just it just gives it life, you know, it just refreshes the whole dish. And then if you don't have the red onion, you can also just use normal onion. And yeah, all these flavors together. Even he said, oh, this is nice. This is really good. I'm like, yeah, it is. So this is just some dania. It had water from being washed because it just came straight from the garden. So you have to wash it because it's got sand. But yeah, so that's why I put it in there facing up, so that the juices of it didn't have to like drip in the bowl. And now we just try to break everything nicely, the onions, so they can separate, and then add the sugar. I added a tablespoon of sugar because you need that sweetness from it. Also the vinegar. It's almost like a pickle. So, but it's a pickle that you can eat immediately and it tastes good. You can eat it the next day, it tastes good. So I was moving my hands because I was like, okay, should I put more sugar or not? Then I'm like, okay, calm down. Just put 1 sugar. Put the vinegar and see if you need to add more sugar, then you can do so. I was talking to myself and my niece, of course. But yeah, now I mix it. So I realized I just needed the 1 tablespoon of sugar and then 2 tablespoons of vinegar. So I put the first vinegar first because I wasn't sure if I needed to add more. And after I tasted it, I realized, okay, I needed a bit more of the vinegar. I'm a vinegar lover. As you know, with my chips. Those who know me, they always say, Joy, you put too much vinegar. I'm like, I love it so much. And this is grape vinegar, it's not spirit vinegar. So hopefully that makes a difference. I don't know what is the difference, but yeah, because it's got grape outside, I thought it was healthier, you know. And then I would just put some more vinegar and mix it nicely. It was so good, so refreshing. April kept coming and taking and says, Mama, this is so yummy. This is so yummy. Until she ate an onion and then she's like, Mama, this is burning. Oh my goodness. She's like, oh, I can't eat this. So now she doesn't want the BunnyChow. So I said, okay, fine, I'll give you a roll. She says, no, I want that meat. So yeah, it was lovely. Look at our freshly made bread. Looks gorgeous. There is nothing like making your own bread, people. Please give it a try. Give my recipe a try. Look at that. It's fresh from your own oven. Amazing. But no shame here. You can just go to the shop and pick up a loaf of bread. It's just you don't know, when the bread is ready and whatever. So you can just ask your baker to say, when I say your baker, you don't have your own baker, but at the shop you can ask them and say, when does the bread come? And then they can give you a time and you can just go and collect after your curry is left on the stove cooking with somebody watching it, of course. So I took the first part, the top part, and then I pressed the rest of it to the bottom so that we didn't end up having to take out a lot of the bread outside of the BunnyChow. So here you can also cut the bread into quarter. So you cut it in half and then cut it into quarter. That's what I did after the video because it was too big for one person. So if you're eating it like this, you need at least 3 people to eat together. So I just cut it after the video, but it looks so good for the video, so I left it in half like this. And it was amazing. Please try it on the weekend. In the weekday, if you have time, do it, try it. Put your meat to cook on a low heat and yeah, give this BunnyChow a try and let me know what you think of it. And look at the dripping. I wanted it to drip so that it looks like I just bought it from an Indian shop in Durban somewhere. Okay, and look at my coriander just to garnish it, to give it a bit of a color. And this coriander salad also gives it a nice vibrant color. So please try all of this and let me know what you think. Okay, you're going to love it. You are going to absolutely love it. And yeah, enjoy it. And don't forget to like the video, comment, share it with your family, and as I say, if you try it, also share it with your family. Look at the pictures. Oh my goodness. This was really good. The fresh bread just made a big difference. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Try it. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.